What's going on, guys? Horror Junkies back with another video. Hellraiser 2022. Fuck yes. Just got done watching it. Very, very pleased indeed for a Hellraiser movie.
It was fucking great.
Absolutely fucking phenomenal. I'm just going to go out there and say, this is a spoiler fucking video. So if you ain't watched it yet, you might want to get off this video right now.
And then after you watch it, come back.
Yes. Yes, because we are going to spoil the shit out of this video. I'm going to start off by saying the story, for me, was absolutely great. I loved it. We're starting off with some dude walking into some guy's house, flirting with some cougar type chick at the bar, whatever. And she's like, hey, meet me here in 10 minutes.
He thought he was going to get some.
Oh, pretty sure he thought he was.
And then he walked in and was like, oh, she ain't here.
No. And then, he's like, he finds the puzzle box right off the bat, beginning of the movie. He touches it like it's the penis. Caresses it. All that stuff.
And then Creepy Boy comes out of nowhere. It's like, hey, it's a puzzle.
Hey, you can touch it.
You can touch it.
What he said, you can touch it. And so he starts messing with it after he tells him it's a puzzle. And he's like, he does a couple of configurations. And then he's like, well, if I solve it, do I get a prize?
So if I solve it, do I get a prize?
I do.
And the guy's like, I do.
And he does this creepy ass smile afterward. Yeah. As soon as I saw that smile, I would have stopped.
After he said, I do, and you don't, basically kind of, that's what he said. I wouldn't have fucked with it. After that, done.
Like, nope. No, you want the prize, you do it.
No. And then, right off the bat, at the beginning of this movie, we get our first kill, and it's fucking great.
And that's the best part. It's an awesome kill, and you really don't see it.
Right,
it's in the background.
Yeah, it's in the background while this dude's talking. But it's fucking great. Just the special effects of it looks absolutely fucking awesome.
First of all, the sound design in this movie, oh my god,
it's great.
Because when old boy's walking up to the cube, there's just this big and it's awesome.
Yeah. Sound quality is great. What I really like is they keep to the original music when the Cenobites or Pinhead comes into the picture.
Oh, and we'll get to Pinhead. We'll get there.
They keep that same sound, that same music from the original Hellraiser, which is I thought was fucking great. So it pays some tribute to the original, just in the music part of it. Absolutely phenomenal. Really liked it. We have Riley. She's addicted to drugs. She's
fucking druggy.
Looks like she's at this point going through rehab, maybe, trying to get off the drugs or whatever, living with
her brother.
And
which I really enjoyed her brother.
Yeah,
he's awesome in this movie. I mean, this is a spoiler. He's not in it very long, but he's a good actor.
Well, what I do like is in this movie, the girl is the fuck up, and the guys are the ones that are trying to fucking stop all the bullshit, and her boyfriend's like, fuck no, I ain't doing that. It's like, so, this movie is the special effects and the makeup alone is ridiculous. So this is what we have so many years later from the other Hellraiser movies. The special effects and the makeup are absolutely ridiculous. The way they did Pinhead, phenomenal. The Cenobites,
I'm
phenomenal.
so glad they did away with the leather because these Cenobites in this movie look absolutely amazing.
They do. They do. Chatter's back. Looks ridiculously good. Love how they did it. The other Cenobites that they made in this movie was mind-blowing. Absolutely mind-blowing. They look good. They play great parts. You see more Cenobites in this one than you do in the original Hellraiser. And they just look... They're... You actually see the Cenobites before you see Pinhead. Which is absolutely fucking great because they play a bigger role in this movie than what they did in the other ones. So it makes it a little more enjoyable because you get to see them more and not just see more of Pinhead, which is absolutely great for me. The story hits right on point. Really liked how they did it. They didn't overdo the addiction,
which is good.
Part of the movie with Riley, but they did make it a point.
They touched on it a couple times here and there, but you know,
yeah, they didn't just overdo it.
They didn't like shove it down your fucking throat.
Right. It was nicely done. The story, the way the box
changes
in this movie changes configurations the way it does, and they actually explain what each configuration in that the box does, while it's in that configuration, what it does, and what the meaning of it is. And so the last configuration is Leviathan.
Mm-hmm. This one, when it's just the cube, it's life.
Right.
So I'm guessing if like you know, solve all of it, go through all the configurations, and then they make it a point to tell you where you have to do all the configurations, and if once you do all of them, you get an audience with Leviathan, which is badass in this movie.
And there has to be a sacrifice for every configuration. So basically, when it completes its configuration, a spike or a blade comes out, it cuts you, and you're the sacrifice. So they take you and they do nasty, rotten shit to you.
They fuck you up.
Just filthy.
And they ain't even got to touch
just you. Filthy. You know, I mean, you could be docking, or I mean, it doesn't matter. I mean, it's just filthy.
I think that's probably they even like do that. I mean, obviously they do that in this movie, but they make it a point to where these Cenobites in this movie fuck you up, and they don't even have to touch you.
Yes, absolutely fucking great too. Like once you see that, like you see this box, okay. The box in the new movie is so much more detailed. And there's so many different configurations of this box, which brings a more element to it, because the Cenobites and Riley and Jamie Clayton as Pinhead, they're a part of the story. But to me, the box
is the story.
Is the main character of this movie. And it's absolutely ridiculously good the way they did it. Like it comes out to, in the old Hellraiser movies, you'd see them like maybe, like turn, they'd run their finger like this and maybe push down on it, and you would see it change one time. And then they push it down, and then all hell broke loose.
And then in the later original movies, all characters did was this: just fucking rub this spot, and then shit would happen.
Right. So this one, once you solve the puzzle, because it's just not rubbing your finger across the box, it's doing other things, moving things, and making it do different stuff.
And this cube in this movie, guys, even if you don't see it, there's every single like little corner of this fucking thing has a movable piece.
Yes.
Which is awesome.
Dude, the box is the movie. I believe myself. They made the box the center of attention in this movie, which is absolutely badass. I loved it. You know, when they said that David Bruckner was coming out with this movie and Clive Barker was behind it, a lot of people was not behind this movie. And, you know, as a Hellraiser fan, I was kind of scared at first. But then I got to start seeing some things that they were doing and started seeing the trailers, and it looked amazing. But watch it, you know, and I had high hopes for this movie, but I was scared to watch it at the same time. And this movie really could have just went to theaters, and it was that good that it would have probably made a lot of money. But instead, they brought it out on Hulu, and it was just amazing. Loved it. I would have literally, if I didn't have Hulu, I was going to pay to get Hulu just for this movie.
And we were so scared that all the good parts in the trailer were going to be the only good parts in the movie, and that is very much not the case. The entire fucking movie is amazing.
Oh yeah. Even though at first, right after the first kill, at the very beginning of the movie, it starts to go slow a little bit, but it goes slow, and it still keeps your attention. It still keeps you excited to what's coming next because the story catches you. It keeps you right there where you need to be for that next kill, and it's absolutely fucking great. I can't praise this movie enough. Like, I'm so excited that it turned out the way that it did because there's a bunch of people been dogging this movie before it even came out, and it's fucking great.
Yeah, to me, this movie just jumped straight to the top of the fucking list.
Yeah, I believe I see it being the first, the second movie, and then this one. It kind of reminds you of the second movie, just because of the way they do things in Leviathan. You know what I mean? And they show Leviathan in the second one, as they do in this one. And that's what basically this movie's about, getting to Leviathan. Because once you get to Leviathan, all your wishes come true.
But they come true, but they do not.
There's consequences. Even at the end, when you reach Leviathan, there's consequences. No matter what you pick, there's consequences. So they said they was going closer to the Hellbound Heart book. I've read it. It's there. You know what I mean? It's absolutely right on track with the Hellbound Heart book. It's exactly what Clive Barker was shooting for before the very first Hellraiser come out. They changed things. It's fucking great. Jamie Clayton.
Now we're on to the Pinhead section of the video.
Jamie Clayton did a fucking phenomenal job as Pinhead. She's no Doug Bradley. There's never going to be another Doug Bradley. But I'm going to tell you right now, she is the next thing for this franchise that's going to carry it if they decide to come out with more. Because she did an absolute great fucking job. The voice, She had no facial expressions. It was just, it was the female version of Doug Bradley. Literally. Just no remorse.
No fucks given.
None. Blank face. And it was fucking great.
They have this thing, like, right after Pinhead gets introduced in the movie, because she's actually in the movie a lot more than I thought she was going to be. I thought she was going to be in it, like, the last 10, 15 minutes. No, it goes to the first half of the movie, and then once it hits that middle part, she's in the entire rest of the movie. But there's this one part where they first introduce Pinhead, where she takes one of her pins out, sticks it in old girl's neck, and they have like a fucking throat cam or something, and you see the needle go. No.
Well, what I liked was how they get this girl. She gets the old Pinhead chains and hook deal, and they got this bitch suspended in the air doing a back bend, like literally scorpion this bitch, like in the air with some chains and some hooks, and she's literally talking to this bitch while she sticks this shit in her neck.
Mm-hmm.
It's fucking great. Like this, like I'd have to say, out of the whole movie, this is the best thing, because this is where you really get Jamie Clayton full Pinhead. She talks. She's talking to the girl, and she's literally just telling her, there's more pleasure than pain, and she's sticking this fucking needle in her neck, and there's more to come. And it's just like, wow. The makeup, phenomenal. They did the pins. The lines on her face were red. The pieces of cube in her throat, and it goes from the front all the way to the back. Fucking badass. and it's the way they did the Cenobites in this one, to me, is a lot better than the original, because it's how their skin's fucked up, stretched with hooks. Their whole bodies are that way. And it's just, there's no suit. It's just the body.
Basically, their skin is their clothes.
Right. It's fucking badass. And it looks great. The way they did it looks great. All the Cenobites look phenomenal.
I don't think they could have introduced Pinhead in a better way in this movie than they did, because as soon as she steps on screen, the first words out of her mouth is, "What is it you pray for?" And I'm like, bitch!
Well, what I like too is, in that scene, you see you see Chatter walk out, and you're like, yeah, that's like your really good first view of Chatter. And you're like, fuck yeah, there he is. There he is. And then he gets topped by Pinhead, like right off the fucking bat. Like right after he walks out doing his little
he does it fast as fuck.
Oh, he does too. She just comes out, and you actually get some Chatter action in this movie too, which is fucking great. Like, in all the other Hellraiser movies, he may hold somebody for Pinhead. This motherfucker chews a motherfucker's arm in this motherfucker and just bites his shit. Just bites it. Done. You know what I mean?
I think my favorite part would have to be my favorite part of this movie would have to be the introduction of Pinhead, but not the introduction itself. It's whenever she chains girl up, has her suspended in the air and is talking to her, and Riley looks in the rear view mirror, and they're in a van in the real world. So when they look back there, they just see the girl. But when she looks in the rear view mirror, she sees everything happening.
Yeah.
And it's fucking badass.
I like how also whenever the Leviathan is coming into play, every time they come to get somebody, wherever they're at, everything starts changing. And the way they did it was just really nice. Walls start moving, and the way they did it was ridiculous. It looked really good. The way, the whole layout of this movie was great. I hope they make a sequel.
They left it open for one. Oh, and we got to talk about this because I did not fucking see this coming. The twist in this fucking movie.
Yeah.
Oh my God. I could not have guessed that if you gave me $1 million.
Yeah. Yeah. There was a nice twist to this movie that you would have never seen coming until it happened. You couldn't even call it.
Which I'm so glad.
I called the Leviathan. I said, it's going to happen because I kind of seen it. But because they were, in the story part of it, they were leaning that way. You could kind of tell they were going that way. But the twist came out of nowhere. And you was like, what?
Mm-hmm.
And you're like, holy shit. It's like some first Saw movie shit.
Right.
Type thing. You just didn't see it coming. And it caught you by surprise. And it was fucking great because it added to the end of the movie.
Mm-hmm.
And because... And what I liked was Riley had choices. When it came to the Cenobites and it came to Pinhead, Riley had choices. And she made those choices.
Yeah, they don't just outright, like, if you're the one in possession of the cube, they don't just outright take you. They give you a choice between taking you or they get to take somebody close to you.
And here's a really big spoiler.
Good thing it's a spoiler video.
Chatter gets killed.
Brutally. In a fucking awesome ass way.
Brutally. And he gets killed by Pinhead.
And Pinhead shows no emotion in this movie, but in that moment you can tell by Pinhead's face, even though it doesn't change, she's like, fuck. Yeah,
you kind of see it. She's like, man, I gotta kill one of my motherfuckers. And that's where the choice comes in for Riley. It's like, you need to choose two. Now, I don't care what two, or it could be your mama. It doesn't matter. But you got to pick two. And how she has to pick is there's a blade sticking out the box and a configuration, and it has to get that sacrifice. And it doesn't matter who it is, it's a sacrifice. And so Chatter is that sacrifice. And so she has to take him. And
he did it. Chatter did it like a fucking champ.
He did too. It was
like he was attacking him, and then he got stabbed, and he just stops, and he backs up, and he's like, go ahead.
I already know what's going to happen. So if you guys did not expect or did not want to watch this movie, give it one little chance.
Do yourself a favor and watch this
movie.
You
will not regret it because I'm not going to lie. I'm a huge Doug Bradley fan, and I'm a huge Hellraiser fan. It's probably one of my favorite movies of all time. But watching this movie, I did not miss Doug Bradley. Not one bit. It was that fucking good. And honestly, he got offered a cameo in this movie, and I think if he would have actually done it, it would have took away from Jamie Clayton doing her role the way she did it. She delivered it perfectly.
There's this one line at the end of the movie that she fucking nails.
She nails it. Nails it. Absolutely nails it. And it pays tribute to Mr. Doug Bradley himself. And she says, we have such sights to show you. And the way she says it is absolutely fucking great. And when she says it, uses it in the fucking right time of the movie. It wasn't forced. You can tell it wasn't forced. It was just smooth as fuck. And that's the one thing that has to do with the original movie.
Mm-hmm.
The only thing that has to do with the original movie that kind of ties them together is her throwing that Doug Bradley line out there and delivering it the way she did and did it perfectly.
Another thing I really love, I mean, it's like a little 3-second thing, blink and you'll miss it moment, but another thing I really love about this movie is whenever they summon Leviathan, they're at a mansion where basically the second half of the movie takes place. And as Leviathan's coming down, the entire yard and area around the house is now the maze.
Yes. And the mazes the maze surrounds the house, and they just did a really fucking good job. Absolutely loved it. I highly recommend this movie as a very big Hellraiser fan, as a very big Doug Bradley fan. She did a phenomenal job. There's no looking back.
And they left this one open.
David Bruckner gave this movie some justice. And this movie, this franchise has needed this boost right here. This is what it needed. And he did a fucking great job. And I hope he's living it up right now because it's fucking great. So check out this movie. And if you already have, leave your comments below. Tell us what you think about this movie because we absolutely loved it, as you can tell. Fucking great. Hit that thumbs up button, that subscribe button, and also hit that notification bell. Hit it. Just push it.
Hit that like or hit that note or subscribe button, whatever. Or we're gonna stab you with this. Gonna make a little blade come out.
Well, so we really appreciate you guys watching our videos, hitting that thumbs up button. We're getting some more likes. We're getting some more views. Really, really appreciate you guys. We really like to keep the conversation going. Not getting enough comments to really make it a point to go out there. We do answer the comments and we like them, but we'd really like to have enough comments to where we could just read them off on one of our videos and talk about it.
Shit, if enough of you guys comment, we'll do a reading your comments video.
Yes. So we was gonna do a Terrifier 2 video this weekend, but we live in a small town, and they're not showing it here. Son of a bitch!
Bullshit!
I'm telling you right fucking now.
But they already good. We're going to the movies next weekend anyway, so
we will definitely eventually do a Terrifier 2 video.
We just gotta watch it first.
But it's not going to be this weekend like we'd hoped it was going to be. We was going to go tonight or tomorrow night and watch it at the theater here, and they're not even showing it. Like, that pisses me off. Like, and so you get online and you ask, if you can stream it. Of course, they're telling you can stream it on like Vudu and Amazon Prime, but yet when you get on there and Google Play, when you get on there, nothing. So it's a big pile of horse shit that we can't see it right now, but we'll get to it eventually.
When we know something, you guys will know something.
And we'll definitely do a review on that video. Let's keep the conversation going. Man, this Hellraiser movie is fucking great, so let us know what you think about it. Also, follow us on YouTube and Facebook and now the Slasher app. Definitely appreciate you guys. This is Horror Junkies, and we're out.